Hey guys, we are going to have to clean up my garden bed. We went on vacation for a little over 2 weeks, and it looks like my garden bed has completely turned into a jungle. I don't know what happened, but it must have gotten enough rain that it really enjoyed itself. The grass, look at that grass. It's like at least 12 inches. We literally cut it right before we left, and you can see over here the grass is really good and healthy, and probably a good 8 inch. But in my garden, they really took off. I'm not sure even where to begin. I'm going to have to come in and weed eat all the grass. I'm kind of afraid to weed eat just because literally the grass is everywhere. I can't really decipher. Whereas before the trip, I kept it under control so that it doesn't bleed into the plants. But you can see everything is looking healthy and growing. The calla lilies are doing great. I've got two different kinds of color here. I don't know the name, I do apologize, but the variety I just by color. This is the purple one. I really, really love it. It's very stately, very royal color, and very beautiful. And it's actually bigger than I anticipated. You can see over here, this one, it's smaller in stature. The color is really pretty, but it almost doubled. This one almost doubled the size. So I was thinking more of a border front area, but you can see this one needs to move back. Now I do have another one over there, and that one stays smaller in stature than this guy here, but this one is just a monster of a plant. So it might have to be relocated. I've got a butylon growing, but I don't see any flower. You could see the grass. Look at how tall this grass is. It's like, I don't even know if I have any stuff in between here. And what's laying in between here is the problem. I've got a coleus over here that's trying to grow, and you can see it's struggling with not enough. And it looks like the dogs must have popped one off because it's been off for a while. So I guess we'll have to root that one. See, that coleus is going to need some... let me just stick this in water real quick. That coleus is going to need some light in order to grow. And then you get like monstrous weeds over there coming in. It's only been like 2 weeks. Everything that I deadheaded before I left. Ooh, look! The Japanese magnolia is giving me some blooms. You can see that's this one right there. That's the Japanese magnolia. Got cone flowers, coleus, grass. These are cuttings that I had that must have blown over. Look at that. That's how tall the grass grew from where it was. Butterfly bush, Miss Molly's doing great. Got allium doing great over there. Look at this rose. She's literally almost like 5 feet. This is the Miranda Lambert. Look at how tall she grew. So this will be a good one to grow into a tree form. Granny Smith apple is doing great. Whole bunch of fruit you can see. She's doing great on her own. I haven't had to thin her at all, which is kind of great. Looks like she self-thinned herself out. I've got, this is Eden Climbing Rose, the pink variety. She's doing good over here. Amazingly enough, this area doesn't have too much grass or weed growing around here, so I guess we disturb everything enough that it's not doing that. And you can come over here. Same kind of within this area where we disturb putting down the post for the hammock. You can see the gladiolas are finally in bloom. They are looking very beautiful. They actually must have started blooming right before I left, because you can see how they have spent blooms on them over here. These are all spent blooms, and then they've got new blooms at the tip. So once the tip is done blooming, then that's it for the life of that gladiola. So what you want to see, and when you want to purchase gladiolas, sorry, I'm having to watch where I step because You might have some friendly and non-friendly critters down there because the grass is so tall. But when you want to just get one that starts at the base that's blooming. So this one will probably bloom in a day or two down here. And then as they age, they keep on blooming, just like the one next to it. Right here, this one. You can see as it opens up. Look how pretty that is. And then I've got sedum spread over here growing with the grass. So basically, just to show you guys 2 weeks, and the garden is literally exploded while I was gone. More calla lilies. Salvia is doing great. Bees all over it. Got coneflower you don't even see in here. I've got stuff, I think, in here that I can't even see. I know I have bulbs around here somewhere, so the grass has literally overtaken it. Texas sage is doing good. The cleome must be their time because they're all blooming right now. Look at the bee balm over there. This is what I was showing you guys. This bee balm is monstrously tall. Beautiful though, but it looks like it was blooming while I was gone because it's almost spent. But that's really pretty. And then the canna lilies in the back, the two over there, looks like they're getting pretty tall. I've got the fruit trees growing. They are getting too big, and we're not sure how we're gonna dig them up and move them, but that'll be another later project. Calla lilies. I love calla lilies. They're so pretty. This one, this coneflower looks like it got eaten on one side, and then the other side is fallen over. But this one looks like it's doing great. So the coneflower is looking good this year. Last year I had issues where I had some kind of fungus on it and it turned the flowers all funky, meaning it's got weird color and the flowering seed area didn't really form like they should. But this year it looks like I eradicated it, so it's looked like it's doing good. Sedum in there. I mean, not sedum, coleus, but it looks like it's trying to compete with all the grass around here. I've got some kind of lily right there. That's probably one of the few that the rabbits haven't gotten to. And then it looks like, oh no, did that snap? Oh, I step all the way down here. Man, that wind must have blown really good. Look at this. It actually almost made this rootstock bending sideways. I think I'm going to have to come in and try to figure out what's going on there. You can see the whole thing is moving. That's why I thought maybe that one was lost. It does not look like the hardy hibiscus have bloomed yet. It must have not gotten hot enough. But you can see they're still growing. Oh, this one actually dropped its flower. I'm not sure why. But you can see a couple trying to form over there. Oh, and it looks like the Japanese beetle have, this is the first set I've seen. Looks like they have officially emerged. Right there. You see them? I need to bring my soap bucket. Pennies, gladiolas, all the trees are bending over. So while we were gone, there was a massive storm, I think, that came through and it pushed majority of the trees and plants in that direction, it looks like. Here is the standard multi-trunk Miss Butterfly bush. As you can see, she's toppling over. Yeah, so just basically, ooh, look. The kufia is doing good, still competing with the grass. So as you can see, looks like everything is doing great, healthy, somewhat. Look at, I don't know why this rose, I can't believe that they bloomed within just the 2 weeks. I literally deadhead everything and they must have just bloomed and then was spent. But you can see here that grass is taking over. This peach tree is leaning really badly. So that must have been from the wind. You can see most of the trees are leaning over. More butterfly bush. Rose bush I got to come in, trim back. Gladiolas. And here is the second standard that got blown over. You can see it's not straight at all. So it's either top heavy. It almost looks like I need to come in and deadhead. Have not seen a single bloom on the clematis, but she's got a whole bunch of new growth and pushing out, but no blooms. It looks like one stalk is dead, so I need to kind of go in and figure out why this stalk is dead here at the base somewhere. So I got to go in and figure that out. But no bloom yet. But you can see it's a jungle. This tree is almost leaning over. So I've got to go in through this jungle and sort it out. The elephant herd that I have is coming in nicely. Of course, the grass and weed is almost overtaking it, so this will be a good time to try to sort this out. The other Eden rose that I have, the white variety, is pushing out new growth. I've seen a couple new buds, so I might get a second flush, but it is looking a little bit scantily. But we'll see how well it does once I remove some of this undergrowth and grass. See over here, look at this pretty white gladiola. So this one started at the base, you can see here. And then you can see at the very tip, there's no flower yet. But as it ages, it'll flower and then go spent from the bottom all the way up. So it's really pretty. Another gladiola. Oh, this one's pretty too. I've got a peach variety. It looks like, oh, sad. It looks like this one broke. Two of them looks like it broke. Oh man. So it looks like at the base of it, it snapped off right there. You can see. So looks like I'm just gonna need to pull it. I'm not sure if I can do one hand pull, but there we go. So you can see it just snapped right off. So what I'll try to do with this one, it's a strong one, but I don't know how long it's been like that. It's still got some fresh growth, so I'm going to put it in the water for now and then try to root it. So I'm not sure why, but this year my hardy hibiscus has literally taken a beating from the rain and the wind. They snap fairly easily, and I'm not sure why, other than the fact that maybe the soil got pushed down too much and the root system is too high up, so it doesn't have enough to sustain itself. This one looks like it's still doing good. You can see it's healthy, but it's leaning like literally all the way down into the ground, and these ones too, but it's starting to curve back up. I just try to move the ones that are bad. You can see it's trying to push new growth here, which is great. And then this one is damaged already. But they're starting to bloom. They're setting blooms, and I would hate to move them, but I don't think it'll be as pretty as last year when they were more upright. But I think once I clear it up, I'll be able to try to pinpoint the issue and see if there is any issue that needs to be addressed. You can see the coleus is down here. And the grass is trying to grow, and the grass is kind of suffocating it. They need lots of sunlight to grow. So this is the garden. The cleome patch is really taking off. Really pretty flowers. And the hummingbirds love the cleome. So everything is just kind of overgrown. The fig is doing great. Look at all the fruit on this fig. And then it looks like, oh, those hydrangeas might need some water. I put them underneath here because it provides so much shade, but it doesn't look like it's getting enough water. More calla lilies. So pretty. This one might not be getting enough sun to give me flowers. And this hydrangea blew all the way over. We're going to have to try to come in here. You can see I've got stuff in here. But you can see it's supposed to be more upright in habit, and it must have gotten blown over, so I've got to come back and stick it in. Get it situated. The bee balm looks like it was in full bloom when I was gone. Oop, you can see some more bees, but whew, hopefully it didn't get into my shirt. But you can see there's still more bees on the bee balms, but They look a little bit spent. This must be, I think this is probably the older variety where you can see it has the mold, the white mildew and mold on the leaf structure. But they still are pretty, so I keep them around. Look at this group of coneflowers and all the bees around them. They are loving them. But I'm gonna need to disturb them, come in. This beautiful white calla lily needs to be moved. It doesn't have enough room to grow. Here's another pink variety. This one and white. I didn't know I have two mixtures in here, and then the white one. So everything is just a little bit crazy right now. Oh, look at these blueberries. So I've got these blueberries. I think they are ready to be picked. Let's see. Sweet and tart. That one was super sweet. And then the Rose of Sharon starting to bloom. They are looking good. But I think today is going to be all about cleanup. Here's the rose patch I have over here. Ooh, they're growing as tall as the roses are. I'm going to have to come in and deadhead everything. Something ate like all this rose. I don't see any leaves on these roses. What's going on with you guys? Probably need to breathe. So I got to come in and clean that up. This is Miranda Lambert. Looks like she's doing great. The Cathedral Bell is doing good, putting up, it looks like almost a second set of bloom, so that'll be good. I got a rose in there that I can't even see anymore. Coneflowers, verbena, and then looks like Julia Child gave another set of blooms while I was gone, so I'm going to come back in and deadhead everything so I can get another set of bloom. Julia Child is really good. I mean, she's very productive, and you can see she keeps out her leaves. I do have black spot issue with her, but she's so vigorous it doesn't even faze her like the hybrid teas. So we'll see. Got some coneflowers over here. This is weird. It's a weird mixture of both white and pink. So that'll be the project today. Let's get started. beautiful butterfly. And I ran out of gas, so I gotta go gas up. We only did like maybe 2 bags. We've got 4 more to go. All right, everyone. So finally got the place mowed and weed-eated. I finally quit for the day. It was long, and I think I'm, for the most part, finished. You can see where it was very hard to get in between to get the grass, so I'm going to just go in by hand and do that. But you can see for the most part, I was able to get most of the grass cleared out. That way it gave the plants some room to breathe. It's looking good. I see I have some spare spots where I can put more plants in. But funny thing is, the hubby said I need to thin out this area. You can see where there was some damage from the windstorm that was here while we were gone. So some of the, again, hardy hibiscus snapped off. And still getting some bloom. But I accidentally chopped off that dill over there. It smells really good though. There were some damages taken by some of the plants in the process of trying to weed eat. But for the most part, they survived through the haircut. You can see over here, I've got to still come in and thin out some of the grass that I couldn't get close enough with the weed eater. So I still got to come in and do a little bit of pulling, but that I'll probably just do as I look around. But you can see everything it's very pretty. Again, a couple of spots. Either I forgot that there's a plant there, or I do have spots that I can still plant a couple things in. I did notice though that again, oh, look at all the butterflies on the butterfly bush. So I realized she was leaning really bad, so I tried to straighten her out, and in the process of doing that, I snapped a couple branches like this one here. You can see right down there where it cracked. She was so heavy leaning that way, and I need her to straighten out because there are plants underneath her that needs some sunlight, and you can see she's literally blocking everything. The alliums are looking great and pretty. Look at this one. The big bee on it. So those alliums are looking really pretty. They're about 5 feet tall. I'm not sure the variety of alliums these are because I got a bulb from a friend, but they almost look like I'm growing corn. Oop, I think I just accidentally snapped another coleus. Oh well. So you can also snap them off just to make them not so leggy. So I guess I'll have to go and repot that one. So this one over here needs some more sunlight than what it's getting. So I am debating whether to come down, and I think I will. I'm going to go in and cut this standard, the multi-trunk standard, all the way back down again. That way it can be here, but you can still see the stuff on the back. Because right now it's kind of getting gobbled up. And the same thing with this one over here. With that storm that came, looks like it broke quite a few branches, like right there. And this one is broken, even though it's got some life in it, but it's so heavy and it's leaning. I think it's best if I just start afresh again, come down, cut it out, because I've got a hydrangea underneath here that's supposed to give it some shade, but right now, because it's leaning so bad, the hydrangea, you can't even see the pretty hydrangea back here. And then also back here is the hardy hibiscus, Midnight Marvel. Look at all those buds she's pushing out. But with this one being right here and keeps growing, getting taller, I won't be able to see that. So I think it's best to come in and prune that back and start over again. And then I'll retrain some standards and make sure that it's actually a little bit better stake. I actually thought it was better staked than what it was. You can see how strong and sturdy the trunk is. But I think it was just so heavy. Next time maybe I should thin it out a little bit because it is fully loaded. You can see she's just enjoying her life and throwing all these blooms out. So I think I'm going to go in and cut these two multi-trunk standard so that they're more in size for the front, and then you can see more of the stuff in the back. This garden over here is kind of a mess. The grass was super tall over here, but you can see where I need to come in and thin out the grass area, that I didn't want to get too close to some of the plants. And this here is a panicle hydrangea. I don't remember the variety, but I think it's too floppy for me. I am not liking it at all, and it's taking up a lot of space. So I might remove it and put some more hardier one down. You can see, as I was saying down here, now that the grass is not so tall. See, this is my Midnight Marvel hardy hibiscus. I have one on each side flanking the trellis. And for some reason this year, they're really floppy. You can see they fall over. So due to the windstorm, they're not able to hold themselves up. Hey, Sky. Sky came over to say hi. Can you say hi, Sky? Show me your beautiful eyes. Sky, look up here. I know. What? Say hi. Good girl. You just want love. We just gave her a bath today as well, so she's white. She won't be white for long, but she's white right now. So beautiful Sky. So just gonna come in. Whoa, talk about hard work. Over here, I kind of left the cleome by themselves. I realized that there were so many seedlings that sprouted, and I didn't really want to thin them out. So over here you can see, if I thin it out, it would cut them down. So I think I'm going to just go in and kind of by hand remove some of the grass and then let it grow, because I think it'll be pretty just like that. Just got to get rid of this grass issue. The Vitex is doing great. It is starting to bloom. You can see all these buds it's sending out. So the butterfly bush offsets the Vitex in color. You can see the butterfly bush has been blooming and is basically on its second leg. These guys are just starting to bloom. All of these are new buds. So once they are done, which they won't, because as long as you deadhead them, they keep on blooming. But the Vitex looks like it's starting to take off now. The hydrangeas that I stuck underneath, I just watered them. They're doing great. I love this pink color. As you know, these mophead hydrangeas are dependent on your soil. So pH, too much pH, too much acidity on it, and it turns it color, which is why these ones in the pot are still pink. And the one in the ground over here is more of a bluish tone to it. See right there? More pinkish to bluish. So it's kind of nice to have two different kind of color with the hydrangeas. And then, let's see, what else? Oh, I need to come over and stake this guy up. I haven't staked it up, but you can see how far she's leaning over. So I'm going to have to hubby help me and put a stake down. And then over here, I don't know what happened here. I must have missed this spot. I must have done this before he mowed. The hubby mowed, and then he mowed, but then he didn't get this spot. So now I got to come back and weed it. But these guys are doing great, and I am waiting for my angel trumpet to bloom. I kind of did a standard multi-trunk on them just by removing the lower branches to not produce, and then hopefully it will continue to grow and then produce at the top, so that way you can see them a lot better, and then you have the coneflowers underneath. Coneflowers are doing really good. So lots of activities. So that's what it looks like now. Whew. It took a couple hours and very intense weed eating. Like I said, though, I did have some mishaps where I got too close to some of the plants and cut a couple off. Like over here, I cut off a couple flowers, so I'm gonna just put them in a vase and enjoy them. But it's really tough to weed eat in the garden, as you can tell, because you have to be really precise. The sedum is growing crazy, and it looks like it's starting to set to bloom, which seems early this year. The thing I hate about it is all these spider webs around them. And then, of course, when the hubby mows, it catches all the grass. Oh, and then let me show you the rose area in the center. And then this is the center. I'm debating about moving this butterfly bush because it's really close to this rose bush, and I don't really want anything to hinder the rose bush. So, just waiting to see how they're doing. As you can see, they struggle in the south with the humidity, but I love roses so much. I thought I would give it a try and see how well they do, and then we'll go from there. The Miranda Lambert, of course, is still doing great, and it looks like Cathedral Bell is doing great. It doesn't seem to sustain as much damage, like it's not susceptible to the diseases as much as these hybrid teas for some reason. But we're going to give them a try and see. Oh, and did I show you the bee balm? Again, the bee balm is just going off over there. I think once they're done blooming, I'm going to come back in and then shear it. See if I can get a second flush. And then we can go from there. Now, if you look back here, these are the canna lilies. I don't know what color they are. I got them on a plant swap. But look at this growth. The new growth coming out. That's pretty cool how it looks like that just in itself. Doesn't even need any flowers, but they're doing good. The only bad thing I don't like about canna lilies is that they multiply and divide so much and so fast, it's hard to keep up with them. So we'll see how those ones will do. But the leaf structure is really pretty. I like the contrast in the color that it brings to the garden. And see anything else? Oh, I wanted to see this beautiful color of glad. Look at all the bugs she's got on it. I really want to cut them and bring them indoor, but then you got all these bugs that you're bringing in, and I don't like having to bring in all the bugs. So, all right, I think that is it in the garden. Oh, why is this one droopy? Why are some of you guys droopy? Did I cut you? No. Sometimes they are droopy, and I don't know why. Like from the heat of the day. It's definitely from not lack of rain, because... Oh, look, here's another kind of... I think this is the stargazer lily. So see how it's completely shaded? And the mishap did happen to where I think I cut 3 of them in the process of trying to weed eat underneath. So I guess we'll come in and cut that out. All right. I think that's it for today's project, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are having fun in your garden. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.